understood you correctly, Mr. Wolf, did you say that we no longer have a working ambulance from Jefferson Township? We are currently borrowing one from Xenia, or was that passed?
We, at one time, faced all three of them being out of service.
At one time, when was that?
Last Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. They brought the problem to me, and I immediately called my friends at Xenia, and they got us an ambulance to borrow.
But I mean, we spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on those ambulances not a year ago.
Correct, and both of them are Ford recall problems. And the dealers have to work on with Ford, and Ford has to agree to accept the recall. So the problems are all with Ford on the new chassis. The third one has an air conditioning problem that went out of service. When we refurbished the medics, I said that we need new generators or we need to go to something separate than the generators, and at the time Chief Blood said, no, we'll leave the old generators in there where they're failing. And so they were taking a patient last week to the hospital, and it was almost 94 degrees in the back of the medic. And I said, we're not going to go longer than this, we're getting help. So we got ourselves a medic that is fully qualified to work in place of the two that went to the factory for recall. And then we've got another one that is our second one. So we were never completely without a medic, but we were on our way there.
But so you're saying that as of right now, this very moment, the only ambulance that we had in service is something from Xenia?
No, we have two. We have the old one that didn't get refurbished and the Xenia. The two new ones are in the repair shop.
Okay.
And we're supposed to get them back Thursday or Friday, according to what Chief just told me.
Okay, all right, so that's been solved, okay. Okay, that's good. I just didn't understand that. Okay, and then my last thing is, I have sat here again, meeting after meeting after meeting, and I never really knew how to say this, so we're just gonna whiz it out there this time. Mr. Mann, when you worked at General Motors, if they came to you and said, we're going to get rid of the other 3 people on your line and you're going to do the job of all 4 of these people, first thing you're going to do is you're going to run and get your union rep.
Committee person, right?
You're going to get your committee person and say, oh, I ain't doing this. But I think that's what we've done to Mr. Wolf. And the 3 of you had to agree to it or it wouldn't have been done. Okay, I think you put a whole lot on Mr. Wolf. And I don't think, and to know, I'm not saying anything bad about Mr. Wolf, please don't take it that way. I don't think any person could do everything that you've asked him to do it efficiently, and do it for the township to represent me. And I would like to ask the 3 of you to look at that, because I don't think that everything that each position needed to get done is getting done. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about the person. I'm just saying that when you take 4 full-time positions and you put them on one person, I just don't think anyone could do that.
Unless they're full time.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that everybody has their own job. I know I couldn't do it. We're a lady down where I work, and I'm struggling, and that's just one more position. I can't imagine having 3. And that has really brought that to my attention this past month. So
is that a compliment or a disappointment when things aren't getting done?
what now? No, there was neither. It was not a dig at anyone, and it was not meant to hurt any. I'm just saying that we have been short a person at work this past 3 weeks, and I've had to do everything of hers, and I've had to do everything of mine. And I know that some of the stuff that I normally get done is getting slighted because I can't do them both. I can't and do them properly, and that's my thing, and do them properly. I can't do them both. And, there's no way, I do not feel there's any way that one person can do 3 or 4, whatever he's doing, positions.
Okay.
And do them 100% for the township. That wasn't a dig on anybody. I'm just stating facts. I know I can't do it. That's what's brought it to my attention, is the fact that I can't do it.
And Mr. Mann should know that he worked at General Motors.
If you really want to appreciate what Wolf's getting done, request copies of his reports. He gives
I would like
very detailed.
I wish those were put out here as her report is put out here on the table. I wish his reports were put out here on the table, because he always talks about his 6-page report, and his 7-page report, and his 8-page report is in your packet. Okay, that does, the citizens doesn't tell us,
At one time, they were on the table.
but they haven't been on the table in a long time. I wish they were on the, I would love to see them again. Actually, I would love to see them put on the website so that the people of the township could see what's being done. To see what's being done for our township. I mean, I don't know how these people feel, but I don't know anything that, I can't see, I work every day. So, I mean, I don't see people running around town and, you know, I don't know what's being done.
Nothing.
I'm done.
And I do mean nothing.
Commander Marion Perry, please read your name and address into the record and why you want to address the
Marion
trustees.
C. Perry, 5140 Altram Road, Dayton, Ohio, /Jefferson Township. You say you want to know what's going on in the township. I call and tell, I report and tell. But is anything done? Nope. We've got cars at 5091 and 5085 total. Check the license plate, but they won't come out, and they got the whole line of Altrams blocked. Now, I don't have a car. Let me explain that. I don't have a car. I have to go to medical appointments to be picked up. Now, when I come home, after calling set right to come home, I can't get home. Because when I call and report and say, there's too many cars on this street, and some of them aren't legal. Some of them don't even have the nerve to have a license plate. And you won't check it. The sheriff won't check it. And I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. When I get home, I want to go home. I want to go home. I can't even get home because, let me explain something also. There are kids on that street. There are two, how can we say this? Special needs kids on the street. But one good thing the father tells them, play on their street, on the road near their house, and in the backyard to the house. Okay, here's the problem. If for any reason one of those kids falls out in the street, and one of those people up the street, their friends come up the street, come down the street. They either come down the street or they come up the street. Either way, doesn't matter. They're not doing the speed limit of 25 miles an hour. They're doing anywhere from 85 to 100. Flying! I'm sorry. I call the sheriff. I call him. And I tell them what's going on. Do you think they even come out? Sometimes they do. But one of these days, and I'm going to say this, one of these days, somebody's going to be crying, a parent's going to be crying, and the minute a little child gets hurt, I'm moving. Because that's what everybody wants me out of their house anyway. Because you know why? I pay property taxes. And I don't feel my money is being authorized. I mean virtual. The sheriff won't come out. They won't check the street. They won't check those cars. And then their friends fly down the street. You either have to come, when you go home, when you want to go home, you either got to come Kimball Lane to Altram. Don't go Blairwood down Altram. Because, here's the thing you don't get it. If I'm getting a ride home, that person bringing me has to finish his job, making sure I get to my house. Now, one day,
Ms. Perry, you need to wrap up.
okay, I'll make it quick. One day there was a guy out, and he was drunk as a skunk. He was high as I don't know what. He couldn't even back his car up. Couldn't back his car up. And if he can't back his car up, that means he's drunk on something. And then I called and said, they're doing they're selling, they're doing something illegal. Oh, we don't find anything. One of these days, I'm gonna tell you now, and I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna predict it. If you don't listen now, one of these days, you're gonna be paying through the nose. Either a dead child or a dead adult. And as far as the dogs on the street, nobody checks them either. It's either gonna be a dead child or a dead adult. And as you get older, let me ask you a question. You see this thing right here? Sometimes I can't get up. I can't walk super fast. When their friends come down the street, I better move my you-know-what, or else I'm gonna be. And then I'm gonna tell my sister, sue the township and clean it up and out. And I want everybody here, come November, if you don't get your butts to the polls, you're gonna have that sorry one, telling us how to live. Because they don't give a crap about you.
Sheila back.
Hello, my name is Sheila Beck. I live in 1700 Alamo Court. And I want to tell Linda to get on the head. She said a lot of stuff I was going to say. First, I wanted to say to the trustee that is over the neighborhood association, our meetings will resume again, 1700 Alamo Court at my house at 6 o'clock. Any of the residents that would like to, you're welcome to attend as well. If you want to know more about the meetings, I'll get with you and give you some information about it. So I wanted to make sure I let you all know that. And secondly, I wanted to thank Susan on Jefferson Township Fire, with Fire Department, for just being so gracious and finally putting together a CPR class, which she had been working on wholeheartedly to get done for the township and for our group. And so we had a successful class, and it was a really good turnout. So I just really want to thank Susan for that. I want to report, first of all, my Aunt Mabel that was talking about where she was having the roads breaking up by her house, I reported that over and over and over again, and nobody's even come out, that, to my knowledge. I don't know that if they came out to look or not, but it hasn't even been repaired. And there's all kind of, it's broke up. It's into gravel, and now it's just being carried everywhere. And also, Mr. Mann, I contacted you about the house on Derby. Do you have a status on that? The house that I told you that it was over, you can't even see the house. You can't even see the house. And the backyard is horrible. I talked to you guys about this at the last meeting. The neighbor next door has been cutting the front yard because she's not getting any help from anybody on the township road department. And so she's doing that, but the backyard is a forest. So I reported that to you. I don't know if you remember the last meeting, and then I called you on the phone.
What was that address on?
I don't have it right off, but it's the second house on the
Is this a
south side of Derby, going toward Kimberley, the old Clax house.
I'll get you that address.
Oh, and I have it written down, just don't have it right here. And then for the sheriff, there is a truck on Colson that somebody hit it in the back and knocked it up. Is that what you was reporting? Oh.
No, wait a minute, more to it. We got all the information now. Did I tell you the other truck was on Vanguard?
Yes.
All right.
Oh,
It was a hit and run.
right, but it's been there for a long time. You can clearly see it's got flat tires.
Well, it wasn't flat before they hit it.
Well, no, I'm just talking about now, and it's been like that for a while, and it's kind of a hazard, sitting up on there, but somebody hit it.
Rock in a hard spot, but we working on it now.
Sheila, we're past 3 minutes. If you could please.
Okay, and then, I was also gonna say, it would be nice if the trustees, instead of saying, I don't have anything to say, would say what you've done, what you're doing, and what you have yet to do. And does the township have a comprehensive plan? Because it doesn't look like y'all have any kind of plan on what you're doing, what you're going to do. I'm sure that wasn't all the time.
Well, if somebody wants to give you their time, they should.
Well, they gonna say, I ain't got nothing anyway, so
Meaning, I mean, we gotta work on it until we get it.
they don't wanna hear he on anyway.
Okay, Joyce Gregory.
Joyce Gregory, first time visitor. I'll come back.
Welcome.
No, I'll come back. You're not running me up. My name is Joyce Gregory. My address is 5318 Tucson Drive, Jefferson Township, in Ohio 45417. Now, I live on Tucson, and I happen to live by the creek. Remember when Tucson fell apart, we had a lake going down the street? Well, that big hole in the middle of the street. And I also realized that with asphalt, the ground has to be a certain temperature or some other stuff. But it's not my ass's fault that that hole is still in the ground. Okay? That's not my fault. So that's there. And I happen to live across the street from a man-made landfill.
Yeah.
The address is 5317. If you come down Hopewell and go into the cul-de-sac closed court, then you can get a rear view of this property. There's big trees. Anyway, this property, it has numerous ordinance code problems. And it's my understanding that people had a due date of July the 6th to have cars removed that didn't have current license plates on them, whether they were on your property or in the street. And I really want to say thank you very much for the things that I see. But the house across the street from me is affecting those of us right around, affecting us environmentally, because the smell comes. He has not had running water in 7 years. He craps in the back. He doesn't clean his bags. He has cats. He has beer cans and bags of beer cans, trash everywhere. Now, before the weather got, I've watched this happen, but you see, when you are, until you become the actual deed owner, the property owner, then calling doesn't make that much sense. You don't have that much. So luckily, I've been placed in a situation that I'm able to have a voice. And my voice is that I know that there's legal things, and this didn't just happen. He doesn't want to pay anyone. He doesn't believe that he's got a problem on the property, and it's going to have to be cut. There is no way that even if you cut the front has to be covered with the tractor, but the back is in a private fence, which makes that private property. So he's going to have to be removed from the property. And I know in time it's going to be condemned, because the trees are so high. If he didn't have a driveway and a garage, you wouldn't see the house. And the tree in the back is so large that it's coming and it's covering the entire back. And that means that over 7 years, the stuff is growing up. So there's not even flowing air. And I don't get the smell that much because I'm right in front, but the neighbors on both sides, they really get the fumes. And now that it's getting warm, if we have some rain after all this heat, then it's like a human landfill. I do understand that his personal problems are not my problems, but my breathing problems. And I might not do the best, because my parents died and left me the house. So I may not do the best yet, but I'm trying to do the best. But he goes to work every day. He leaves that house and goes, he gets a paycheck. He Ubers when he gets paid. He catches the bus the rest of the week. So anyway, my time is up. But all I'm saying is, oh, one more thing. The gun range, the gunshots. One day, I don't know where they're shooting. So due to the fact that we have our delinquency problem, That's what it's on Holly Street. But I never know where that gunshot's coming from. It could be back there at the range. I'm getting ready to sit down, so it could be back there at the range, but I don't know. So I don't know if that's a problem or not. Perhaps all that gun range, the shooting that they do in the back, it used to be behind me by Jeff Graham's property. That's where the shooting range used to be. But now it seems like it's moved, more down around that waving in infirmary. So that being said, thank you very much. I know that the laws are whatever they are, but could you kind of help me? Because I don't know what they're gonna do, but they're gonna have to come from the sky and send chemicals or something down. He has not had running water in 7 years. No sewage and no running water.
Joyce,
Yes?
was that address 5317?
Yeah, I live 18, not my house.
That's your address, sorry.
I got pictures. If you wanna see
I live in 17, wait a minute, I got that. We got girl power. So I had to let my little neighbor next door cut the grass on the riding lawnmower because her boyfriend left. But she saw the commercial. You know that diabetes commercial? When you cut the grass in a circle.
Is it Tucson?
Yes, it is, Tucson.
And you know the house, you know the house.
Oh, you can't.
That's what I got.
First, you just come down Derby. First, you get the big pothole thing that hasn't been fixed yet. And then you get 5317. My grass just looks like it's been cut with the design. She cut it in a circle. But hey, I have to keep her encouraged.
Thank you, Joyce.
All right. Pat White.
Pat White, 5103 Altron, Dayton, Ohio, 45417. First thing I want to know is how can you have a kennel in a residential neighborhood? Is that legal?
You can have code enforcement, take a look at it.
Everybody has complained about it, but what I really want to, I want to complain about that too, because the smell is so bad. We can't even sit out in the back and enjoy your backyard. And plus the dogs run loose all the time, and if I catch one, I'm gonna kill it. Huh?
The dog people take care of it right away.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, they do. I went down there and they got roofed everything down. The next day, them dogs were scared to bark.
Not these dogs.
Yeah, the
They
dogs.
open my yard all the time.
Pat,
Yeah, they take
what's your
care of
address
it.
again, please?
Hmm?
What's your address again, please?
5103 Altron. The house next door, y'all need to tear it down or something, because the raccoons are taking over. They're running through the yard, my yard. They're climbing the trees. The backyard is terrible. And the people next door to that, they throw all the garbage over there. Y'all don't cut the grass. They cut it one time. I thought maybe they would have cut it for the 4th of July, but they didn't. The trees and the bushes are just tearing the fence down. And y'all keep saying that the house, you can't do nothing about the house because it belongs to the bank. We'll do something to the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Mhm.
This is
This
the
is
same
a
thing I'm
bank-owned
talking
property.
about.
That's what y'all keep saying.
This is a house I keep on talking about, and I've sent you pictures. That's what I was trying to do, pull up these pictures.
But the raccoons are just going wild. They're in the house. You can hear them. They're climbing on the roof. But the smell from the dogs is awful.
I'm a husband. I didn't know how this is my first time here. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'm a minister.
Like what you gonna say?
I've got to say this. And we've had drug problems. And I come from the city. I come here. It's supposed to be calm and peaceful. a nice neighborhood, but it is not. There is more drugs going on in that place that I can ever, I've been all over the United States. I used to be a mover with United Badlands. I have never seen people like this in my life.
Yes.
Me neither.
I have never, you talk to them, you look at you like crazy. She was at the door telling the dog to get away. I went to the door, I ain't had nothing. I ran the dog back to his house. He said, it ain't my dog, so when he's coming through your door. I was gonna fight that dog with my bare hands. And if he hadn't jumped in, he'd have got really have business. But it's not only that, when they do the drugs, they ride them mopeds up and down the street all day, all night. The dogs walk all day, all night. I don't know where these people come from. When they first came there, they pulled the car on the ground and went straight to the front door with the car. Yes. And I looked there like that time, what is wrong with these people?
And they do, they park the trucks all across the line, the sidewalk, anywhere, all up and down the street. Every time you turn around, there's a hood up, he's working. It's an auto shop too.
A junkyard.
Did you call the police?
We
Yes,
call.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We call. They don't come.
Well, I'm the one that sits on Wyburn at the stop sign.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
seen.
That's me.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't answer for the other guys, but I sit there.
Yeah, we've seen you,
Yes.
And then see.
but it starts right back up as soon
If
as you
you
leave.
stop them, the police have raided the place one time before.
Yeah.
I came outside, the police said, sir, you get back in the house. I ran back in the house, and the one thing they killed was they killed a dog. They should have killed the people. Oh. But you know, you just don't say you're not comfortable in that setting. Because you never know what they're gonna do. And I mean, it's bad people. I've seen people in the
It's a
life,
lot of them, yeah. It's a
and they
lot
got
of them.
some young boys coming through there. When they re-up, every time they get the dope, here comes everybody.
Yeah.
And they re-up, and they got all kinds of traffic. The boy looked at me, I was cutting my grass, he looked at me and he was like this. And I was saying, well, if it comes this way, it's got to be me and him. I'm too old to be messing around. I'm a 30. So come this way, they are bad.
It's real bad.
I've never seen people like this in my life.
Exactly.
If something's got to be done with the people.
Yes.
Because if it's not, somebody's going to get hurt.
That's what I keep on telling you.
Hurt bad.
That's what I keep on saying.
Whether you call the inspectors or they ask people to come.
Hi,
But, again, could you answer my question about the, kennel?
We'll have to have zoning take a look at that and see if there is a violation, so we can have it reviewed to see if there's an issue.
So you're saying that residential area, you can't have a kennel?
No. I'm gonna tell you no.
It used to be you would have a kennel, if you had more than 3 dogs, you had to have a kennel license.
She said she had a license.
Oh, well, you got a kennel license, but still, it's strange. But like I said, go down to the dog place, they'll take care of it right away.
But it, you
Well,
have to
they
be
took all
zoned.
those, when they raided that house, they took all those dogs away and brought them right
Brought 'em back.
But you had to be zoned for
I
that.
had the problem myself, and I went down there and talked to the guy, the guy was real nice. And what he told me was, this is not the dog pound anymore. He took it, wait a minute now, he didn't have a chance. He took his notebook out and wrote everything down. The next day, it was quiet over. I heard the dogs again a few times. I called back and took care of it, now it's quiet over.
This is a different case.
Totally different.
But you gotta go to the people.
No. We can't go this.
The dog people.
We already leave. They already.
They don't come, they don't come.
They won't
They
do
can't do
They
nothing.
say they
They won't
couldn't
do
do nothing.
nothing. Just like one night,
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
No, let me explain something.
No, where'd you go?
No, you gotta hear the story.
We
What
need to
happened
move
is,
on with our.
Okay.
let me make this quick.
No.
One night, okay, But see, the same attitude you're giving is what we're getting. The same attitude you're giving is what we're getting.
Yes.
The same attitude. You gotta go now down the street, sit there for a minute and see. Or you gotta come and visit his yard, sit down and see if you wanna smell that, pardon my French, shit.
That ain't gonna happen.
And you know, you ain't coming.
After Easter, we were sitting out in the back, because it was a nice day. And all of a sudden, this smell just came through there. We had to go in the house. It was just that bad. Because I guess they were calling themselves cleaning or something. I don't know. It just seemed like they were stirring it up.
It's something to be done about that, 'cause that's a health issue. That's a health issue.
Yeah.
They clean it and throw it in the yard next door. That's what they do.
Yes, yes.
That's exactly what I think they do too.
Well, then the trustees had to do something about it.
Yep.
This has been going on a long time.
We'll move on to
Yes.
trustee reports. Mr. McLaughlin.
Thank you. I've talked about several times, we have a little bit of lack of people with spray licenses, so, we sprayed all the fire stations, the road department, new road department up on Kimball, and, I guess I'll start driving some streets. There's some comments there that you've got some bad weeds in your streets, start looking that up, see if you can't start spraying some of the streets. Not has anything to do with being a trustee, but I have been vaccinated. I think everybody needs to be. If you haven't been vaccinated, you need to get vaccinated. I've driven a lot through the township, and I've seen a lot of places where people are improving their land, making improvements to their houses, making this township a better place. You do see that. There's bad ones too, but I drive these streets and I've seen a lot of improvement and a lot of betterment in Jefferson Township. It looks good. My work is slowing down a little bit, Ms. Edwards, and I will come to the office more often and keep checks signed up. That's all I got.
And there are some more on your time tonight,
I'll do it.
Simon.
Okay, there's about 7 checks in there and some payroll material on sign. I listened to everything you said, and let me just say also, one year I came up here and down to Firehouse Station 6, and I would come in and stay Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 hours a day, in case anybody wanted to come in and talk about anything. So people don't really come in. I mean, it may be different now, but I'm just saying, there's some things you try to see if you can find out what's going on with problems. Now, I called Mr. Wolf, and Linda, you were talking about this issue. Mr. Wolf is the administrator. His job